All right, everybody. The world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is Tuesday, the 13th of January, 2026. Two weekends have passed by in 2026. So now let's begin our third week of the year and talk about everything that was trending across sports, news, entertainment, and culture. So me, Ryan, and Allison are going to discuss what was trending over the weekend and some life questions after that. Hello, everybody. What's going on?
How's it going? Happy to
Hey,
be back. Two whole weekends we've made it through. So there you go.
I've always felt January's go really fast. But this one's going slow.
This one has gone very slow.
Isn't that true?
I do agree. This one in particular has been a slow January. Not boring, but slow.
Unbelievable. Well, as we head into the third full week of January, just want to remind you, number one, we have a reaction to the college football playoff semifinals. That's available on all podcast platforms and YouTube. We have a reaction to the NFL wildcard weekend. Also dropping today, we have a reaction to the Steelers and the Texans, and we preview the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. All that available for you right now on podcast platforms and YouTube. Then on Friday, we are back at it with another tweet cap to discuss what's happening in the week ahead. So good times ahead. I can't wait to have fun all with you to discuss what happened. And just another quick reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on our podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, exit Twitter at ProdConvoPod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations. Sorry, or on TikTok at ProdConvoPod and Facebook at Productive Conversations. All right, Allison and Ryan, did you two have a great weekend?
I did. It was a fairly relaxing weekend for me. Yeah, nothing crazy. So that's good. I appreciate nothing crazy on a weekend. Let me relax, but yeah.
Lovely to
made a
hear
lot
it.
of money this weekend.
Oh, what was it from the from sports bets or from what?
So I worked a lot overtime because the beginning of the year with insurances at my job, everyone's changing them. They've expired. Something's like occurred. And I also donated plasma for the first time since like
Mm.
2018. And in 30 minutes, I made $100, but they haven't paid me yet. So I'm like trying to figure out what's going on
That's not good that they haven't paid you yet. A lot of times they pay you like
instantly.
in the room. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it goes just straight to the debit card. So I don't know what
Yeah.
happened, but I filled out so many forms and done so much stuff. So I might just go to the center later this week and be like, yo,
And
what
try and figure out what happened. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's not a bad idea because yeah, realistically they should have paid you as soon as they took it out of your arm.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have made you go like home or whatever they did, you know.
Pose.
Why would they do such a thing?
I don't
Oh, I
know.
know. I don't know if we're in the yelling situation just yet, but yeah. That reminds me of a story that I won't tell right now, but from plasma donating. But anyway,
Can you do it in 30 seconds?
no, that's why I won't tell it right now.
What what was the final outcome of it?
I had to walk someone home because they threw up all over the bus in Alexandria. That's the teaser. That's the teaser trailer. Someday we'll talk about it when we have more time.
I will say I've been pretty sick since
Yeah.
donating.
No, it messes you up.
And
Yeah.
I've never like I remember in college I did not feel that way.
You
Um
know what? I mean, college is you're a different
yeah,
person in college.
different breed, you know.
You're invincible in college. You don't
Yeah.
feel anything.
And now I'm 29, gonna be 30 this year, and I'm an old hag. So it is what it
I wouldn't say all those things to myself
is.
or Matt. Well, I guess you're around our age if we're being
Like I
completely
literally
honest,
blacked
but
out at the gym today. Like my body has not been the same since, and this happened Saturday at like noon. So,
mm,
but on the bright side, they told me like I'm a very hydrated person, so that's cool.
Well, that's
So
good.
at least my
You're
water
supposed to be
intake's
hydrated.
good. They're like, you have really good veins, and then the guy like tried inserting the needle, and blood went everywhere, and he goes, that usually only happens when people are really hydrated, and I'm like, oh, cool.
Unbelievable. Well, lots to do, lots to get into, so let's get to it. We started these 2
Let's
weeks
do
with
it.
acts of war and
Yep.
people getting shot by ICE. But we're going to start on a better note today. We're going to start with Kendall Jenner.
Oh gosh,
So you know why I'm bringing up Kendall Jenner?
because of Timothy.
Yeah,
No, isn't
for
that
sure.
Kylie Jenner who dates him?
Oh,
It doesn't matter. It's still the
it's still
last name.
something.
It's
They're all the
still
same.
probably him.
I mean, they're all the same, seriously. But I'm actually talking to you guys about Kendall Jenner, right? What would you say she's famous for?
She's a model, isn't she?
She has a sister.
I know, right? They have
That's what she's famous
she's
for.
famous for being famous.
She's famous because her sister is famous, and it's her
Sex
sister.
tape.
Yeah. Well, again,
Right.
she doesn't even have one of those.
Yeah, but her sister does.
Yeah. So again, she's famous for having a sister. Her
What did my
sister is
bro-
famous, and she has a sister who's famous, so she's famous.
Yeah, what did my brother ever do for me? This is bullshit.
I know, right? That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're just famous. Didn't one of them start became a billionaire, self-made billionaire?
Oh yeah,
In their words, of course. not
entirely
ours.
self-made.
But anyways, they're also known for being, doing plastic surgery, right?
Yes.
Amongst other cosmetic things. Yeah.
Well, guess what? Kendall Jenner told us on a random podcast she has never done plastic surgery in her life. So, coming from the horse's mouth, this is exactly what she said.
Okay, wait, keep going. Sorry. So you're not
Where
going to
was I
convince
saying?
anyone about
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I'm not here to convince
Yeah.
anyone, but I'm just here to tell you the truth.
totally. Totally.
Which is the fact that I've never had any plastic surgery on my face, nothing. I've never had any work done. I told you the only thing I've done twice, I've done baby Botox in my forehead. I didn't love it and I don't love it and I consider it sometimes, but then I'm like, my eyebrows are so straight and low to my eyes that I actually really like enjoy the movement that
Totally.
I have.
Totally.
So if anything, I did it for like fine lines, but
Do you
other
feel like
than
it
that,
got
only done PRP
rid of the fine lines?
for temporarily. It
Yeah.
like, goes away. I'll see videos of me and a professional, a licensed doctor is on Instagram or TikTok, and they're doing a breakdown of all the surgeries
I've seen that.
had
I've seen
and
that.
all the work I've had done and all these things, and I've seen them of other people too, of course.
I've never
and,
seen
and
it of
people
you.
that I know that have never had those things done and things like that. But what I want to say is that I do find it really damaging because then
Yeah.
I think young people, like you were saying, you did that at 18, and
Totally.
sometimes we just have curiosity and all those things.
Totally.
But it can affect young people in such an interesting way because then they see that and they're like, oh my God, that's what I have to do to look like that. And then they
And she did, because we have some proof right here. Look at this stuff from this 12-year gap.
I mean,
What does she think? We're all stupid? No one cares that deep. But like, come on, don't.
I feel like
we
this
cannot
is her.
underestimate people that much. Like,
I
come
feel
on.
like this is her like
Saving grace
parsing-
moment. This is her gonna be
No.
humble. This is her gonna connect with the regular folk.
No, nothing like that. I feel like this is her like kind of splitting hairs because like notice what she said and what she didn't say. She didn't say didn't have any work done, right? Like she's very specifically did not say that.
So she's gonna play the
She just said
semantics
she
game.
never had it on her face. Then she went and described something she's had on her face twice, and saying
Look at
like,
this.
okay,
Look at the lips right here. She got
Well,
different eyes.
the lips are what's it called? She did I believe she was the one who did like the duck lip thing back in the day. I don't know though.
Yeah,
But
that
the eyes.
whole
These look
duck
like
lip.
two different people.
I mean,
This
no,
one
I
looks
think
like an alien.
I
Sorry.
think that just looks. The first one does to me just look like a younger girl than the person next to her.
Look at the
So-
eyes opening up here.
So like you do have to look.
Oh, is
a
she
little
extra
bit.
tired? that day.
No, but I'm like you do have to look at the fact that she is, over that 10-year span, she has also aged 10 years.
Oh, come on.
But
They aged 10 years with a lot of science involved.
She did say she had what, PRP? I don't know what PRP
right, and
is.
so like I feel like that's my thing. I feel like she's trying to be like I've never had surgery, and maybe that's true. I don't know the different things you can have, right?
Like you
But
could get filler and all
right,
that.
I
She
feel
definitely
like
had
right.
filler in her face.
Yeah, I think it's more of a semantics. Like she's not saying she's all natural, but by denying specific like things, she's insinuating that she has completely natural features. And I'll be honest, I think her broader point of like if you're a doctor and you sit there and say, here's all of the things, like here's all the surgeries that such and such a person had, you need to be like pretty confident that they had those surgeries. And frankly,
Yeah, right.
if you're a doctor who is confident that they've had those surgeries, you are legally not allowed to tell people because that would mean you are their doctor or you work at the place that their doctor works at and they are protected by patient confidentiality. So any doctor saying here's all the surgeries she had is not being truthful and she's right about that. That being said, as hurtful as that will be to her, but also as bad as that is for young people who are hearing these professionals just making stuff up without knowing what they're talking about in terms of what somebody is or isn't doing, pretending that, like, insinuating that you've never had anything done is equally as problematic because when you say that and then a young person sees themselves and doesn't see you, now they're like, well, how come Kendall or Kylie or whoever this is can look that way naturally and I can't? And that's going to have a massive impact on young girls' mental health. Also, something that gets lost in this, but like, romantic partners for young girls, be they other girls or guys, are also consuming, at least in the periphery, this conversation. And so if they're expecting people to look like X, and that's not real life, that's going to make that whole part of people's lives even more difficult than it already is, which is only going to make people lonelier and therefore affect their mental health. So to me, she's right that if you're a doctor, then you don't know what she's had and you really shouldn't comment on it. It's clickbait, it's low rent, but her trying to pretend by like she's lying by omission. She's saying I never had surgery and I might even be inclined to believe her. But she's not saying she's never done anything to enhance her look using her pocketbook. And I think it's clear that she has. And so to me, she really should be more honest about that if the thing she's most caring about is the public record. And that's how she's trying to make it sound. And to me, that's a little bit kind of, I don't like
And
it.
more people are talking about how disingenuous she comes off too, and how we'll see
Right.
where this all keeps going for the Jenners. Like, I've never actually heard somebody say, I am a fan of the Jenners and Kardashians. I defend them forever.
People
I don't
like
know.
their show, like the
Yeah, their
keeping up
show
with the
people talk
Kardashians
I've,
or
about.
whatever.
I personally haven't been around those people, but again, not a lot of people watch what I watch either.
Yeah.
So
What I always say to people when celebrities say things or do surgery and stuff, like you're not ugly, you're just broke. So
well,
so there's the life motto, guys.
I mean, it's true though. I think there is a truth to that.
exactly, there really is. So we'll see where this all pans out, I guess, but I don't care. Anyways, just don't think we're just don't play us like a fiddle as society. While a lot of us do have to, but something like that, just you're insulting our intelligence. Especially some of those pictures. It's actually kind of freaky how different they are. And I don't think just 10 years of age and you completely look that different, you know?
No, no, you're right. There's multiple things going on that isn't just aging. I think that that's clear. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
So I have an NHL story for you guys I want to talk about. Who knows who Linus Olmark is?
Linus Omark?
Yeah.
I
Linus
have
Olmark.
no idea who
The
that
only
is.
Linus I have ever heard of is the one from Charlie Brown.
Exactly. Same here.
And that is all.
So Linus Olmark is the backup goalie for the Senators. Now hear this, right? We've actually talked about this before. He was caught cheating on his wife on the road, as well. A lot of athletes do, sadly, right? So here's what happened. The wife gives him an ultimatum. I said, I won't leave you and take the kids. I'm open to even figuring this out, but you have to tell me everybody else who's cheating. So what do you think he decided? Did he decide to save his marriage or save the privacy of his teammates?
He stuck by his teammates, 100%.
Nope. Opposite. He
No
ratted out
way.
everybody.
Damn.
According to this, there's been significant social media chatter claiming that Senators goalie Linus Olmark's extended absence is tied to a locker room cheating scandal, with posts alleging that he was unfaithful and disclosed personal details about teammates' private lives. So yeah, he just randomly left the team a couple weeks ago for personal reasons, and this is starting to come out. The team president, Steve Staios, publicly condemned the speculation, reiterated that Olmark's leave is for personal reasons, not scandal related. He said, which is kind of crazy. He said they're completely fabricated and baseless. There's a report on the Ottawa Senators Instagram if you want to check that out. Top NHL insiders warn that just because the rumors are circulating widely doesn't mean they're true. The debate's going on. No verified reporting, but yet he still hasn't been part of the team. I mean, how could you return to the team like that? Shit's messy, man. Shit is really messy. And this would be a way bigger story if hockey was big in this country, unfortunately. Like if this was any other league, I think this would be a humongous story, sadly.
I mean,
at least with
yes and
baseball,
no.
I think at least with the MLB, NBA, and NFL, this
I
would
think
be a
with the
bigger deal.
NFL, 100%.
My thing is like, is anyone actually surprised
That
They
cheat?
shouldn't be.
that they cheat? Like, and I don't mean, I'm not trying to be that guy. You know,
I
I'm
was
never.
surprised the guy ratted out his teammates
Well, yeah, that part is surprising, but like
in hockey where
idea-
they could accidentally, oh, sorry, boom.
yeah,
Checker-
yeah,
checker you.
exactly.
This
They
is
could
the backup
they
goalie
could
too,
punch
by the
you.
way.
They could physically hit you. No, it's like the idea that athletes are cheating. I feel like that's kind of baked into a lot of this.
As in infidelity or committing infidelity, and they cheat.
Sorry. Yes, infidelity. Yes, not cheating like sports cheating. They do that too, but that's different. Like the infidelity thing is, I feel like that group is almost more likely to be unfaithful than like actors and freaking like musicians, if we're being completely honest. Like that, I feel like
Oh yeah,
musicians and
you're
actors and
literally
stuff.
built for a perfect body, you know?
Right. Yeah, I feel like musicians and actors, like they move on from people fast for sure. But I feel like they'll give it a try for a hot minute. I feel like athletes quite literally they get on the road and they're like, I could do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Again, not all of them. I'm sure plenty of athletes never have even considered cheating. But just as a general rule, to me, that's not that surprising. So I'm surprised that people would think it would be a bigger story because I mean, I don't want to call it water is wet, but it's pretty close.
Dude.
The big surprise is that he ratted out everybody. I thought he would just lose his family. I mean, listen, I'm glad he tried to keep his wife and children for them. I think
something and that's a very hard choice you have to make because you will piss off 30 strongly masculine dudes who are athletes who are in a locker room that certain times they can't keep people out. Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah, but
they'll do the soap. They'll do the soap and sock scene.
Again, no, my thing is, I will say, if anything actually happens to him, that's insane. That, by the way, that would be a far bigger scandal than all these people cheating. If this guy shows up after getting his like shit kicked in by his teammates,
at practice,
the whole team will be, the whole team is going to be punished for that. I promise you right now, the team is not going to receive anything even close to a punishment because these are personal transgressions by individuals. If the team beats up somebody, The whole they're going to disqualify the team. Every single one of them is going to void a contract. I mean, they could ban the whole team. Genuinely speaking, the league could get rid of every single one of those players. So
That's why
they're not
they
gonna
got
hit
rid of Linus.
right. So they're not gonna hit him. Right. They're not gonna hit him. No one's gonna beat him up.
The
Now,
wives might.
well, their wives might beat them up, but they're not gonna beat a guy up because to lose your wife and then lose, a lucrative contract for playing professional sports would make you one of the dumbest people alive. If you're gonna lose one, don't lose both. But I do think there's gonna be he's gonna have a hard time getting picked up. Because even though no one will attack
His career is
him,
probably over.
nobody's going to trust him.
Yeah, he's a snitch.
Right, and if nobody trusts him, then they're not going to want to play with him on the team. And no coach is going to want to introduce, especially for a backup, no coach is going to want to introduce friction when none already exists, right? So I think if he's smart, I don't know where he's from. And you said he plays in Ottawa, but
He is Canadian.
yeah, he plays in Ottawa. So like if he's smart, I don't know what Europe's hockey situation is, but he and his family who have decided to stay together, they should just leave North America, go play hockey elsewhere in a foreign team and try and put it all behind you.
You know where
That's
hockey's
what I
big?
would do.
Russia.
Besides Russia, I wouldn't go to Russia. But I'm sure is a European hockey league. So, go to France or something. You speak the language already, potentially. I don't know. I have no idea about this person at all. But like I do think that yeah, the NHL is probably no longer a viable career path. And also this is a tough one because usually I'm like, tell the truth. But that wasn't your truth to tell, was it? Right? Like,
Nope.
and I'll be honest, and this is gonna get me in trouble. I don't believe the wife should have asked that of him.
There's definitely a lot of wives who know and they keep it quiet too.
Well, it's not about that. If you are a wife and you find out that someone is cheating on your friend, maybe even through your husband, I think you can absolutely tell your friend, this is something that I found out. You need to know this because this person is not being faithful to you, and this person's taking you for a fool. But to sit there and say, I will only stay with you if you rat on everyone else, that is a weird manipulative power play.
Very weird.
And she shouldn't have asked him to do that. If you're gonna stay with him, stay with him. If you don't want to stay with him because he's unfaithful, I totally get it. Then leave. Like she shouldn't feel like she needs to stay with him for any reason if she feels she can't trust him. But that's a weird manipulative thing that she did, and it did ruin his career. I guess the only solace is if she does stay with him, it's ruined her livelihood, probably, if we're being honest. But yeah, I don't quite understand why she felt entitled to that information.
Revenge is cold, man.
Yeah, but revenge on him, like
I don't know. That's the thing too. It's weird. Very, very weird.
I
But
agree.
we will have to digress on that one. But our other sports related story, or one and a half more sports related stories. The San Francisco 49ers will be playing in the divisional round this weekend against the Seattle Seahawks. Somehow, some way, this injury-ridden team was able to get back to the playoffs, number one, and they won a playoff game, number two. They knocked out the reigning champions, number three, in the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're still here. But one of the most unfortunate things about that game is the torn Achilles from tight end George Kittle, the all-pro future Hall of Famer tight end.
Mm-hmm.
George Kittle hasn't been the only one. He's actually been injured a few times with a hamstring injury. He did something to his ankle this year too. They've also lost their best defensive player, Fred Warner, the middle linebacker. Trent Williams has been in and out of the lineup. They're all-pro offensive tackle. Brock Purdy was hurt this year. Mac Jones had to start a few games. A lot of injuries. But
That's just
why? Yeah, just this year. Nick Bosa is out for the rest of the year with a torn ACL. It's weird. Why specifically the San Francisco 49ers keep getting hurt? And by the way, the Super Bowl will be played on their home turf this year.
Mm.
But there's a theory out there. Did you know just right by Levi Stadium and the practice facility for the 49ers, there is, how do I say this? An electromagnetic field area. There is a large electromagnetic field facility not too far from the practice facility of the 49ers. And there is an actual conspiracy that these electric magnetic fields are causing players to have weakened tendons and weakened ligaments, causing the soft tissue injury specifically, as mentioned, torn ACL, torn Achilles, uh, broken ligaments and toe and foots, all of that. And people are saying enough is enough. It's time to either move the electromagnetic field area or move the practice facility, which would be pretty nuts. But what do you guys think? I'll actually show you right here. Here's a map. So right here is the facility, right?
The substation, electrical substation
Okay,
is
yeah.
what that facility is called.
The substation is right here. This is the practice facility, and here's the stadium. Literally right next to each other, where the Super Bowl is going to be played.
Yep.
So we have to ask ourselves, is this causing stuff like this? Here, George Kittle, unfortunately, being carted off the field. I'm scared.
But okay. So I want to start with the fact that some doctor in San Francisco has said that this is kind of nonsense. Um, Then another player, former 49ers guard John Fosiliano, shared the original tweet about what was, the quote in the tweet was saying that low frequency electromagnetic fields, EMF, can degrade collagen, weaken tendons, and cause soft tissue damage at levels regulators would call safe. We have a real world case study proving this. Again, former team member shared it, and it said his teammates would joke about the electrical substation all the time. So this is not a new situation, right? But basically, doctors are saying the laboratory studies are very specific. They're much higher levels than what would be at the stadium, and they are much more targeted than what you would be exposed to on the practice field. So that's what the doctors are saying. Now, the facts remain the facts. The 49ers are, and this is apparently true, the most frequently injured team in the NFL. And that's not just this year. That is like a long running tradition of them being one of, if not the most injured team in the league most years. They have lost, in my opinion, as an organization, millions of dollars. Think about Christian McCaffrey as an example. Christian McCaffrey has huge contract, huge money, huge potential upside. Most of the top parts of his career, once he got, of course, to San Francisco, he spent on the IR. That was wasted. That's wasted funds, right? That it just is. That's wasted funds from San Francisco. You look at Kittle, who stays relatively healthy, but he's out now. I believe it was, if not last postseason, the postseason before that they were in, he also went down, making it much harder to get to these final games, in the playoffs, because you lose one of your best, slot threats. If it's not true, fine. But I don't believe you can sit here and say completely out of pocket, like, no, that can't be. Like, I understand that the study that the original researcher pointed to is probably not enough to make the claim that the researcher has made. And the researcher is probably, some weird, like, crystal or oatmeal crunchy MAGA guy, right? I get it. He's probably not to be trusted in general. But just because what he pointed to isn't really enough for evidence doesn't mean he's not onto something. You got to look at variables. What are the variables? That's the variable. What team is exposed to this more than any other team? It's the team that practices there, and that's the 49ers. To me, this is something that you should actively consider. And I get that, maybe there's not general injuries, like people walking down the street probably don't get hurt, but it's very different to be able to hold yourself up as you walk down the street and to play professional football. Those are different, even if it only degrades something a little bit. If you're a pro football player, you're going to end up with more injuries because of that. Now they shouldn't move the substation. They can't do that. It's powering part of the city, so that will have to remain. But they can absolutely move the practice facility. So at the bare minimum, they're only playing the games near the substation, which is something that the other teams are doing anyway, and that gets the practice facility and the practice teams out of this area. But I think they should look into it. I think it's irresponsible for scientists and medical professionals to pretend that this couldn't be at least something to explain why this team is losing millions of dollars on these investments into star players who end up unable to play when it matters.
If somebody gets hurt this week, we know who to blame. All right, my half sports story.
Okay.
We talk about celebrity crushes.
Mhm.
Can you imagine if you truly date your celebrity crush? Even though his season came to an end last night, Cooper DeJean, who got all pro this year, who's 22 years old, he doesn't have too much to worry about because he is allegedly dating 42-year-old Nikki Bella, a wrestler, Allison.
Yeah, wrestling.
They're casually dating. So,
Hooking
according
up.
to yeah, so it says right
Yeah.
here, according to recent reports, they are reportedly casually dating with sources indicating mutual attraction and several private dates. Though Bella is keeping things low key while focusing on a career and co-parenting, the romance rumors, which started earlier, were fueled by Bella's social media accounts from Eagle games and locker rooms, with both DeJean and Nikki Bella staying quiet. Neither have confirmed if this is true or not.
I think the
So, like, think about this though. What was her peak? Like Apex Mountain, like 2014, 2015?
Let me look up that Divas
Like Tota
Championship run
Della,
real quick.
I think Total Divas, right? Can you imagine
Yeah.
you're 10 years old and
Hold
you're
on, let me
like,
grab
man, I
this.
cannot wait for her to date me, be all over me. And we right before we started recording, we were talking about age gaps, more women, older women, younger men, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that's with like somebody you dreamed of, right? My God, I hate the Eagles.
Someone you watched on TV, right? Like that's the other
Yeah.
bit.
I hate the Eagles a lot, but Cooper DeJean is really impressive. And he got a big pick six in the Super Bowl at 21 years old. That essentially won them the game that sealed the deal against the Chiefs. And now this. And yeah, he's going to be a all pro, first team all pro, by the way, this year. Him and Blankenship, the two white cornerbacks, it's impressive. And then I can't think of
Also,
his name, the white cornerback, the white safety for the Bills who made the game-winning
yeah,
interception
Bishop
too.
is
Yeah,
the last name. Yeah.
Bishop, he's white too. How about this? The white
So,
boy's in motion, as you will, and literally
also,
on and off the field.
so, so to answer the question that you said, Matt, 2014 to like 2017,
So
that would
yeah, like you're
be
like 10 to 13
peak.
for him.
That would be peak Nikki Bella time period. That's the longest reigning Divas champion era. That's the total Bellas era, champion, or the total Bellas
Unbelievable,
era
dude. I
when that
just
was its own TV show.
this fucking guy, man.
Yeah, so that's the you can look
I
but
just
you
like
can't
all
touch.
that
That's
all
that.
that comes all that comes with just dating your celebrity crush too. Like you go to their house.
Yeah. No,
He never
he,
cares.
he gets to meet
You
to meet
can't
Daniel Bryan.
possibly. Jeez, and he's allegedly that he, and you imagine just getting like, not to sound too crass, but getting intimate with your celebrity crush and all that comes with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially
Wow.
in the Divas era of wrestling. Well,
Yeah,
that was
imagine it. Yeah, let's say that if you grew up as a kid in the 2000s and you saw a diva and you'd be like, yeah, give me a decade, we're gonna be together.
right. They were
My
very
God.
clearly meant to make young guys feel. Right? That's what the divas were dressed for. That's what their segments were for.
Oh,
They were eye candy for young teen and preteen guys. So yes, it is kind of wild that a young guy, teen slash preteen guy from that era is now actively with one of the people who was arguably the biggest star of that era. I mean, people don't like Nikki for a myriad of reasons, but she was very successful and very popular, still is very famous compared to most other wrestlers. So yeah, good for DeJean. We'll see how long it goes. Also, the fact that neither one of them has confirmed anything makes me think that this is probably dating in the most casual of sense of the word possible. They've
or
probably
that
like
the sources. I'm just saying. Now they don't believe it, but the sources could be making it up too.
they're that's like a wild thing to make up. He is 22 years old.
True,
She is
but
44 years old. That
people
is
do
an
that. People make
insane
up stuff all
story.
the time.
Insane story.
Nobody's been having an interview. Their first interview. That's the first thing asked. Whether
Yeah,
they
but
tell it or not, that's the question now.
well, and they might even say no, we're not dating. But to me, that means they've probably hooked up a few times. They probably grabbed drinks or whatever once,
Unbelievable.
and
Now I'm getting jealous, Ryan.
someone saw it. No, seriously, someone probably saw them. They grabbed drinks or a meal one or two times, and they're like, "Oh my God, Cooper DeJean's dating Nikki Bella," and they put it out there, and it's really just a very casual friends hanging out, and then some.
Oh, no.
I bet you that's what it is. And if they
It's
deny,
definitely also the wearing the jersey specifically too.
yeah, yeah.
That's very niche to get a cornerback's jersey.
Well, I mean, hey, he's a young guy, right? So she
What
probably
about
likes him more.
Blankenship in this? And I should not be talking about the Eagles this much.
Like it's shit.
Stupid. I told you the other corner. They literally have two
Yeah, but
cornerbacks on the side.
what does he mean? What about him
I
in
did
this?
hear this story that somebody confused it with DeJean. He's like, nah, man, I'm the other one.
I mean,
That was the response.
I think he's older, right?
I think they got drafted around the same time. I off the top of my head.
Reed Blankenship. Uh,
Yeah, I think they're in the same draft class actually. Right?
I don't know if they're in the same draft class, but Reed Blankenship, the Eagles' safety, right,
Mm-hmm.
is married to a Tennessee-born educator with a love for family and football.
The complete opposite.
Yeah, so he's
Man,
dating
you're
or
telling
he's
me
married. Sorry, he's married to a school teacher.
you're
Oh.
telling me we love our school teachers.
Very, very different trajectory between Cooper and
Can-
Reed on this one.
Bro is Eskimo Bros with John Cena.
That's right. Yeah.
Doo. And let's also do the contrary. We talk about
26. So he is older. He's 26 years old.
Okay.
Reed Blankenship.
So let's see at the other spectrum when we heard Belichick and Jordan. I said, "My goodness, what's wrong with these people? Horrible examples. Terrible. Shame on them." Cooper DeJean, Nikki Bell is like, "Yeah, good for you, bro."
So obviously the gender differences are part of this, right?
Yeah.
But we should also be like super clear because that's not the only difference. There's two very specific differences. One, Bella is 44.
Look,
Belichick is what,
I know.
74?
I know it's a 50-year age gap compared to a 21.
20. So that's number one.
50
And
damn
that to
fucking
me,
years.
that
Or
one to
even-
me matters a lot. But here's number two, and this one shouldn't matter, but it does. And anyone who says it doesn't is lying. Obviously, DeJean is a 22-year-old pro athlete, so probably I'll assume in very good shape given his profession and his age. Nikki Bella, not actually an athlete in terms of a competitive athlete, but an athlete in terms of pro wrestling is an athletic endeavor. She's done the dancing thing, so she's also in very good shape. Like both are required to be in peak physical form for their jobs. Like it's a requirement.
Again, that's a hot room in there when they get the
Right.
sexy time.
So pe-
let's bring that back
people,
now.
yeah,
The sexy
people,
time.
yeah, people will pretend that that doesn't matter, and it absolutely does. If either one of them wasn't attractive, even with only a 20-year age gap, people would have a real problem with this. The reason why Belichick has got such a problem is, in addition to being 50 years older than her, he's not an attractive man. He's a big dude. She's 74. Like, nobody looks at Bill Belichick and thinks, sex
Daddy.
symbol. Right, daddy, exactly. Whereas
Oh,
in
jeez.
both cases,
Unlike Nick Saban.
but Nick Saban has a fun quote about cheating, which is, I think I don't remember it, so I won't paraphrase, but it's essentially like it was anyway, doesn't matter. Point is, guys can look at Nikki Bella and be like, yeah, I get that. Girls can look at Cooper DeJean and say, I get that. Frankly, if we're being honest, girls could look at Nikki Bella and guys could look at Cooper DeJean and both say, yeah, I do get that. Like, I understand. But when you try the same thing with Belichick and his girlfriend or
Not
whatever,
disgusting the situation.
guys and girls look at Belichick and say, what does she see besides his money? Right? And to me, that is a absolutely fundamental difference. And I'm not saying it is money or isn't, but I'm saying it's a
Yeah, I
fundamental
do think
difference.
DeJean I think must get paid a little less than her. He's on a rookie contract, but you get
Well,
your
he gets
second
paid.
contract, he's set.
Yeah, no, I mean they both have money. That's another thing. They're both already celebrity, quote unquote. They're both already high paid. I don't know. To me, there's just a lot of differences between this and that make it different, but I do get the point of pointing that out.
Hilarious. All right. Coca-Cola, give me the Formula. I got some good news, everybody. It was finally uncovered by a TikToker what the secret Coca-Cola formula is. And we're going to have Austin Sweat explain what happened exactly. And you guys like Coke?
I don't drink soda.
Diet Coke is my
But
favorite.
even if you don't drink soda in general, though, say there's no health issues at all, do you think Coke tastes good?
Yeah, Diet Coke is the one I choose, but yeah.
My mom had me try a sip of a McDonald's Coke, and it was actually pretty crisp. It was pretty good.
Yeah, they say
crispy
that
DC.
they make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
They make them differently. Listen, I don't drink soda either, actually, but I love Coke. I love a Coke. My God, I'd have that as a dessert.
Dolo, let's make that a clip and just save it for later.
But yes, Coca-Cola is lovely. And here's the big report.
This science YouTuber just figured out Coca-Cola's top secret formula, which is big considering Coke's never patented the recipe so nobody would steal it. Apparently it took him 5 different YouTubers and over a year of tests and research to figure out that the secret ingredients were vinegar, different citrus oils, and something called tannin that comes from tea. He then tested random people to pick which was his version and which was the real Coke, and nobody could do it. So now everyone's predicting the news that soon he's gonna mysteriously disappear. Send prayers. So apparently this science YouTuber
I don't know about disappear. That's wild.
I don't know. Who's
just
that one
pay him.
recently? The MIT. I mean, it's a sensitive subject, but he had something uncovered and got shot. Like something government related.
Well,
I know it's different than Coca-Cola, but
yeah.
who knows, man?
Well, they had the one guy from OpenAI too. We talked
Yeah.
about that. But I mean, yeah. Is it impossible that a large entity with lots of money would get rid of Disruptor? No, it's not impossible.
Mhm.
But I mean, this person's been all over YouTube, right? This person has presumably already said online what the formula was, right? Or at least close enough. He's given enough of the ingredients away that somebody else could probably replicate it given time. if that makes sense. So I feel like the thing that would make the most sense is for Coca-Cola to go to this guy, be like, congratulations, very nice work. You did good. We're going to we're going to pay you. You're going to work for us. And all you have to do is delete your YouTube page. Just get rid of the whole thing. No one can tell that you were able to mock it up perfectly. You can't talk about what was in it. Just you work here now. We'll keep you set for life. You get all these benefits. Blah blah blah. That's what I would do if I were them. I think that that's far more effective than murder. Because again, they can't take the YouTube page down. The YouTube page, he puts that out there, even if he doesn't give like measurements, right? If he just gives ingredients, says here is the formula to make Coca-Cola.
The formuloli.
Yes. If he puts that out there tomorrow, then Coca-Cola can do absolutely nothing about it. It's there forever. They're not gonna be able to get it taken down just because he's gone, right? Only he could take it down. And even without measurements, somebody else with time could spend a year using that
Look at
video
them. Make
to
your
be
own
like,
Coke.
okay, so we know what we need. Now we just have to practice and like trial and error different levels to determine if we can get the right taste by putting the right combination. That is not hard to do once you know all of the ingredients and you know how to make it, just broadly speaking. So, you get more bees with honey, Coke. So don't go after this poor guy. Just pay him lots of money and make him sign a contract, whether it be an NDA or an actual employment contract, and then make him delete the video as part of that contract. And then you're done. Good as rain. You admit that he figured it out, and that's that. He's not allowed to share it.
Amen to that, Ryan. Okay. I got something hilarious to show. I've actually been pretty pro AI, but this is bad for ChatGPT.
Uh-oh.
So
I like that one.
somebody asked ChatGPT, they wrote, I cheated on my boyfriend because he didn't want to buy me flowers. And you know what ChatGPT responded with?
What?
I hear you. You're not a bad person for this. You you were feeling hurted. You were hurting, underappreciated, and something inside you snapped. When someone keeps ignoring a need that feels small to them but huge to you, you can build a lot of pain and resentment. All right.
Can I say a hot take before we even start?
Yeah.
ChatGPT is right.
That's what I was saying there. They didn't say what you did was okay.
Correct.
But they did validate the reason for it.
Correct.
Unfortunately, Jose's not here to agree with it too. He's off doing whatever in Mexico. But
100% ChatGPT said nothing wrong in that.
So you support this because it's been very mixed. I'm sure you've heard here.
Yeah, I mean, now if she had said, I cheated on such and such because they didn't get me XYZ, is that okay? And their response was, yeah, that's okay. Then I would say, no, that's incorrect. Because that's ChatGPT saying you're allowed to do something wrong because you felt wronged. And that's not how society works. You're not allowed to do things wrong just because you feel you've been wrong. However, ChatGPT said you're not a bad person. I would not argue with anybody who said that just doing something wrong one time makes you, like, if someone said doing something wrong one time makes you a bad person, my response would be then we are all bad people. And anyone who could, cast the first stone, go ahead, stand up and tell me you've never done anything wrong, and we'll listen to you and we'll talk about it. But you're lying to yourself, and we'll get to the bottom of that. So, not a bad person for cheating. You might be a bad girlfriend or boyfriend, but you're not a bad person. So that's number one. And then number two, and this is the important bit, all it did was explain the emotion behind somebody cheating, which they were right. They accurately described the thing that people think right before they cheat. Doesn't make it okay, but it just is pointing out here are the things that a person thinks right before they cheat on their spouse or their boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, whatever. And so to me, what's wrong with what it said? It literally said two things. You're not a bad person for doing this, and here's how you were feeling right before you cheated. And those are both true.
See, ChatGPT ain't so bad, huh?
Well, but ain't so bad, or it's not even about that, but they did get this one wrong, I would say. That was the right answer to give.
Okay, I hear that. The last thing we're going to show you before we do our final two segments, we're going to do something very random today. An
Okay.
old movie clip that's been going viral in this tense time in our country.
Mm.
And is kind of relevant too, even when we feel hopeless in this country and very hopeless with this government. This one scene shows that it is possible to make a change. And I'm gonna ask, we're gonna risk the copyright, but
Okay.
have you ever heard of a movie called With Honors?
No.
All right, here's the premise for this. It
Okay.
stars Brendan Fraser as a
Okay.
Harvard University student who finds himself at the mercy of the demands of a homeless man when he holds his senior thesis paper hostage. I won't tell you who the actor is because I'm not going to spoil the clip.
Okay.
You are going to get a kick out of this. It stars this actor, very extremely famous. He is a living legend, especially in the 90s.
Okay.
There's Maura Kelly, Patrick Dempsey, Josh Hamilton, Gore Vidal. The film was released to negative reviews and grossed $20 million.
Okay.
Let's see, consensus is, while it's admittedly well-meaning, With Honors handles its themes in strictly remedial fashion.
Okay.
Not this one scene though,
Yeah.
I think. So let me play you this viral scene that's been coming up. The clip is, gotta admit, seeing this famous actor not swearing, not shooting anybody, or not beating anyone else is a bit odd, but I like it.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the great Joe Pesci. Hear this. No, hear this scene really quick. It's brilliant.
Which door do I leave from?
At Harvard, we don't end our sentences with prepositions.
Well, in that case, which door do I leave from, asshole?
What democratic eloquence.
You asked the question, sir. Let me answer it. The genius of the Constitution is that it can always be changed. The genius of the Constitution is that it makes no permanent rule other than its faith in the wisdom of ordinary people to govern themselves.
Faith in the wisdom of the people is exactly what makes the Constitution incomplete and crude.
Crude? No, sir. Our founding parents were pompous, middle-aged white farmers, but they were also great men, because they knew one thing that all great men should know, that they didn't know everything. They knew they were going to make mistakes, but they made sure to leave a way to correct them. They didn't think of themselves as leaders. They wanted a government of citizens, not royalty. A government of listeners, not lecturers. A government that could change, not stand still. The president isn't an elected king, no matter how many bombs he can drop, because the crude Constitution doesn't trust him. He's a servant of the people. He's a bum, okay, Mr. Pitcairn? He's just a bum. And the only bliss that he's searching for is freedom and justice.
See, a great actor will always pull through.
Yeah, that was good.
I love that.
I wish I believed him.
Yeah. You don't think that 30 years?
I don't know.
nothing's
Yeah,
changed?
yeah. I don't know that the 30 years between when he said that and where we are now have been kind to that worldview. But I mean, the other guy's worldview is even stupider. So I guess there's that.
Oh, dude, it got 20%, but Joe Pesci must have needed a paycheck.
Yeah, whatever. That's right. Money's
I
money.
just love seeing an actor.
Wait. Also,
even in a
he
bad
holds
movie,
he
cook.
holds Brandon Fraser's thesis hostage.
I've never
How?
seen the movie, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I suggest if you want to watch it yourself.
It also looked like he may have been quoting Brandon Fraser's thesis in that particular scene because he looked right at him. So I don't know. But wow. Yeah, I don't know what the movie's about. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's
but
on Tubi. if you want to watch it.
Oh, I have
Free.
Tubi. I have Tubi.
Please, Ryan, if you watch it, I'll watch it with you. It's
Oh,
only
my
90
goodness.
minutes.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have to be right away, but whenever
Okay, yeah. I can watch it. I can watch it on Tubi.
you give a review of With Honors.
That's gonna be so far. This show has made me watch Eddie and Tubi. I can compare Eddie and
There's
With Honors, so I can compare.
Oh my god, there's actually another viral. We'll sneak in. Has anybody? Oh boy,
Ow, that hurt.
Has anybody seen the movie Soul Man?
No.
Soul Man?
Oh,
No.
I'm
Another Tubi classic.
It's not on Tubi. It is I think it's available on a weird streaming site.
Well, I probably won't look at that then. But okay.
I'm just it's not completely removed like a Porky's or something.
Sure.
You can still see it, but I want the guy to explain it himself. But basically, I'll tell you, it's about a guy who needs a scholarship to an Ivy League school, a white guy, and the white guy, running out of options, decides to pretend to be a black man.
I have heard of this movie.
It is called Soul Man. It's still available. The lead actor, C. Thomas Howell, while I think we know why we never saw him do much since.
Yeah, I know this movie.
I mean, he's been around, but like, not leading man.
Well, he led this one, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm trying to find this very interesting breakdown of it. But I mean, yeah, he is just insanely racist. Is really offensive. I just can't believe some of the stuff they even thought even I think in 1986, you can't blame cocaine or old times. You knew this is bad. You know this is bad from the start, you know?
Yeah.
It's literally.
Oh wow.
What, you found it?
I just looked it up. Oh, that's the blackest of blackface that I've seen.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's not true, but it's bad.
Yeah, I can't find the exact breakdown on why I'm trying.
They made James Earl Jones be in this movie?
He's in the movie, yeah. James Earl Jones needed a paycheck.
Oh my God. What else we got? We got Leslie Nielsen. Well, I actually found that checks. Who else? Anyone else that surprises me?
You could rent it.
Nah, definitely not gonna rent it.
I will see it just to be curious about it. I will but jeez. Unfortunately, I think it is a major movie studio too. Okay, I found it. All right, we'll play this really quick about Soul Man in this secret uncredited segment. Look at this.
This blackface comedy they put out in the 80s.
What's happening, brother? Get down, looking good, man.
You have to hear about this. So this is Mark. His parents are paying for his college tuition, so he applies to a black scholarship. And to accept the funds, he becomes black. And it's not makeup. He's taking black people pills. They're like melanin pills he's taking. They don't even try to explain why his hair's changed. Like, they're like, who cares? We just need this guy in blackface ASAP, okay? Mark goes to Harvard, and the comedy is that he has to pretend to be black. So he has to hide that he's not good at basketball. And when people might recognize him, he pretends to be Stevie Wonder, but also deaf.
That's Julia Louis-Dreyfus right there.
So bad. He starts hooking up with a young Jan Levinson who has a thing for black men. He has dinner with her family where they all envision him as a different stereotype, like a savage. But look at how the dad sees him.
Here's some more watermelon while you're at it.
Oh, that's right.
White fat ass. What you looking at?
Now, do you think at any point this actor was like, what am I doing? And here's our fine little lady who wrote the movie, Miss Carol Black. Like, hey, at least her last name's Black. Mark has a black professor who just thinks Mark's black. He's like, a fellow black person. And same goes for Sarah, another black student in his class that's like, yup, he's black. Like, in what world would anyone believe this? Like, your foundation's on your lips, babe. You know these black actors were like, I need a goddamn check. After Mark experiences racism, he's like, being black is not that great. So Mark turns back to white. Don't ask me how black pills work, but apparently you can be white again like that. Maybe he had a good scrub with an African net sponge. And this is when his professor tells him he's learned his lesson.
You've learned what it feels like.
James Earl Jones.
No, sir. Beg your pardon? If I didn't like it, I could always get out.
This is one of the greatest actors of all time.
He's right about that. That
a
was
black man learned a lesson today. It just took a white guy fresh out of blackface to teach him. Did you know about...
What was that?
I was going to say, at least he drew the conclusion correctly of, yeah, I can't really fully understand what it means to be a black man because I always had the option to not be a black man. So good on them for landing that ship on something that at least reflected a correct ideology. But wow. Wow. Yeah.
Allison, will you be watching this on Tubi?
Maybe I'll make Brett watch it with me. And to give him give him nothing.
No
Just be like,
warning.
yo, let's watch this movie. Like Matt recommended.
Producer Steve Tisch.
Hear this though. He owns the Giants. He's part owner of the Giants. Literally. Steve Tisch.
Yeah, so Steve Tisch, the producer
of like also known Tisch School of Arts, NYU.
Yeah.
Daughter, granddaughter's the police commissioner.
Yeah. So currently, and so he defended the film. He compared it to Tootsie, which is a 1982 film, which features a man masquerading as a woman for career. So he said that's a man masquerading as a woman for career advancement. It uses comedy as a device to expose sexual stereotyping, and he believes that Soul Man uses comedy to explode racial stereotyping. That was just, I think that's a typo. It probably means explore, but that was his quote. The film was seen by President Reagan at Camp David. They enjoyed the film and especially enjoyed seeing their son Ron. So I guess Ron Reagan Jr. was somewhere in this film.
You can rent it on Amazon and YouTube and Apple right now. So what? I guess they don't see it that bad. There are these major renters are letting you rent it. You know.
I will say the NAACP was against it. The NAACP chapter president Willis Edwards said in a statement at the time, "We certainly believe it is possible to use humor to reveal the ridiculousness of racism. However, the unhumorous and quite seriously made plot point of Soul Man is that no black student could be found in all of Los Angeles who is academically qualified for a scholarship geared for black students." So that was their primary issue with it.
Dude, the consensus on this one. Critics had a whole lot less than a truckload of good loving this woefully misguided take on race in 80s America. So
sorry, last quote. From the Wikipedia page. Steve Tisch offered the role of Mark Watson, which is the main character, to Anthony Michael Hall, Tim Robbins,
good to say no,
Anthony Edwards, Val Kilmer, and John Cusack, all of whom declined. Star C. Thomas Howell later said, "When I made the movie, I didn't go into it with the idea that I had a responsibility to sort of teach America any lessons. I went into it because it was a great script. It was so well written, so funny, and sadly, very true. A lot of the experiences this guy goes through, maybe he wouldn't have gone through them if he was a white person. But when he's black, it's a very different experience." So that's how C. Thomas Howell viewed that particular film.
It's literally called Soul Man. Like another stereotype right there. And can I ask this one thing to be fair?
Sure.
What's the difference between this and White Chicks?
Or Some Like It Hot.
Well, I've never seen.
Well, at least there's Some Like It Hot. That's
I guess that's more gender based.
Yeah, that's more gender based. But the more the White Chicks where they are doing white face. Is there a difference? Are we more accepting?
So here's where I think
because it is the same exact thing.
So no, here's where I think the difference is, and this goes to what the NAACP said about the premise, right? The premise is that black students were being given an opportunity they didn't deserve, so a white dude pretended to be black and took that opportunity. That is the premise of this movie. Whether they intended it to look that way or not is irrelevant. That's what it was. He took a black pill to become black, apparently, to get a scholarship for black students because he was smarter than them, but because he was white, he was not eligible for that scholarship. In White Chicks, they are undercover. They have got to find a specific set of answers, and the only way they can do that is to go undercover in this particular friend group, and that's why they impersonate the two. Spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't see White Chicks. They impersonate the two like socialites, right? The two twins or whatever, and hang out with all of the rich kids, all the rich girls, because the rich girls have the inside connection to the people involved in the case. So to me, that's less, oh, wouldn't, I mean, don't be wrong, the comedy is still supposed to be the same of what if these two black actors look like white girls? But premise wise, they had a reason for pretending to be those specific people. Those are the people who could get them into the places they need to get into to investigate the crime. In this, it was just some white dude wanted a scholarship. So I do think that those are substantially different, my opinion.
I think that's a fair take on that. All right. Question of the day. Who is a famous person who is misunderstood?
Misunderstood?
That's right. Like maybe you're a fan of them and I don't understand why other people aren't. Maybe they shouldn't have gotten canceled. Maybe they are actually good, but not enough people are admiring their work.
Okay.
So different ways you could go there, but ultimately we have to
Person
figure
who is
out.
misunderstood.
Yes. Or if you want to say not respected enough, if you want to take it in that direction.
No, just kidding.
I didn't hear. Who'd you say?
I said Taylor Swift.
Oh my God.
I'm
Yeah.
I
like,
think she's understood.
I think people understood
just
her
not by
well.
Matt.
Don't get me wrong, plenty of people go out of their way to try and misunderstand her, but I think the vast majority of people are in the right, you know.
This is a hard question.
This is a super hard question.
I kind of wish I knew this so I could be like, yeah. Misunderstood. Do you have one, Matt? Like right off the bat?
So I always thought that Bert from Bert and Ernie was misunderstood. Bro has a lot to deal with Ernie. We should
Bert
cut him
from
some
Bert and
slack.
Ernie?
Yes.
Okay.
Muppets count. Anyway,
Muppets
like I said, we
count.
talked about it. We have accepted that the Muppets are just a part of our society.
Well, yeah, but what was it? Did you see the whole Miss Piggy thing?
With Katrina Carpenter?
No. Is it who is making a Muppet movie?
I saw somebody. I think Sabrina Carpenter is.
No, I think it's Jennifer Lawrence or something. Like it's a real thing. They're doing something, and somebody asked if they would be playing the role of Miss Piggy.
Oh,
And
Oh, I
no,
know
this
what you're
is true.
talking
And
about, but I
and the
don't remember
person,
who.
it was a celebrity, it was a big celebrity, was like, that's disrespectful
to Miss Piggy.
to Miss Piggy. Like I wouldn't play Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy will play herself. And I'm like, Miss Piggy's a puppet. What are we doing? But no, she was dead serious. She's like, I'm directing and producing this movie. I will not be playing Miss Piggy because Miss Piggy will play Miss Piggy. Why would I have anyone other than Miss Piggy play Miss Piggy? And I'm like, that's some respect right there. They're like, Miss Piggy's a real actress. And she's gonna play this role that she's played for decades now. But and then obviously I told you about the craziest thing ever, which was when Kermit the Frog was on The Masked Singer. Absolutely phenomenal. No notes. They took the mask off and it was just a puppet. Like that's crazy to me. Anyway, who is misunderstood? Oh, well. I don't know if they're misunderstood or not. Yeah, I'll say it. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
by the way, Ryan, just saying here. Next big Muppet project is a Miss Piggy film with Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone producing.
Yes.
And
Emma
Cole
Stone. It was Emma Stone who did the interview. And they asked if Emma Stone was going to play Miss Piggy, and Emma Stone was like, "That's disrespectful to Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy will play Miss Piggy in the Miss Piggy movie." I was like, I mean,
Hey, here's
phenomenal. But
February 4th, they're going to have the 50th anniversary of the Muppet Show celebration on Disney and ABC. Which are produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg and the Muppet Studio.
Huh, interesting.
Sabrina Carpenter will be hosting with Kermit and Mrs. Piggy and the gang. It says it
That's
right
well, yeah, obviously,
in
yeah.
the actual copy.
Oh man.
Misunderstood. I don't know. The one person that comes to my mind now that we talk about this a little more is Squidward from SpongeBob.
We'll take
I
that.
don't know why.
Sure.
Squidward. Well, I mean,
think,
yeah,
like,
they.
because everyone thinks like he's mean to SpongeBob, but it's like as I've gotten older, I kind of relate more to Squidward, and I'm like,
Plankton
I kind
too.
of just like doing my own thing and like not being bothered and like I don't know.
I could do this to fictional characters too, or like villains who had a point. You ever heard of those?
Yeah, all right. I want to say mine because I decided I am going to say it. I think that the director and writer, and I guess sometime producer, Ryan Johnson,
Who's that?
doesn't get, and here's why. He doesn't get the right amount of respect, and he would have, but he made that Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say people just hate him because of Star Wars.
And I think this is important. That was not the worst Star Wars movie of the first three. Factually, it was not. That's
you
number
mean
one.
the sequel 3?
Yeah, sorry, the sequel. You know what I mean. The most recent three,
Yeah.
he directed the one from 2017. Everyone thought it was the worst. It was not the worst. I mean, it's bad, but it wasn't the worst. That whole trio of movies was not great. But the Knives Out movies alone are some of the best written and directed things ever, like in modern entertainment, right?
Mhm.
He's also a musician, right? People don't even know that. He's a folk musician.
Yeah,
Plays
he's written
banjo,
stuff
yeah.
for his own work.
Right, he's done directing on TV shows, including like Breaking Bad, for anyone who didn't know that. He produced The Three Body Problem, which was a popular thing. He was a producer on American Fiction back in 2023, which was a great movie, a very well-written movie.
What Soul Man should have been.
Perhaps, yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
And so, like, to me, he had one movie that, while wasn't good, wasn't even half as bad as people thought it was. And he's become like toxic to a whole section of people. And his work, just factually, is one of the best. He's one of the best right now, but he had one bad movie. And again, bad movie is relative. And now people kind of hate on him, I think, unfairly. So I think he gets way more hate than he deserves, and he doesn't get the amount of respect as a creator that I think he deserves as well. So there we go. That's who I'm going with. Lock in. That's a real person, so I understand that wasn't a fictional character or a villain, but that's who I wanted to use.
Great work. So I have Bert, Allison has Squidward, you have Ryan Johnson. Excuse me.
That's one hell of that's a rogues gallery of people that we use there.
Excellent work. Ryan and Allison, awesome stuff. I enjoyed it. We'll see you later in the week. Everybody else, don't forget, available. We have a divisional preview of the NFL playoffs, the divisional round, reacting to Steelers and Texans right now. By the time this recording's done, they're going 7-6.5 with missed opportunities on both sides. More of the Texans. But they're keeping it close. It'd be crazy. What if we get Aaron Rodgers versus Drake May in the playoff game? That would be the winner of this game plays the Pats. And how we feel? I did this clip on Josh Allen really quick. I feel especially if you saw that Jaguars game, bro's getting beat up.
Oh, yeah.
Throw through his throwing hand right into a lineman's helmet. I mean, bro hurt his knee. Bro in a concussion protocol. He got sacked by the other NFL's Josh Allen and literally rolled out 350 pounds on his head, and he still pushed through. That Josh, the what they call the Josh push, the first one before the actual one he scored, where he did a tush push for 10 yards. That was awesome. That was cinematic. Cool. Bro was refusing to fall down. And
he's not gonna fall down. This is his last shot. He knows that.
It's all based on these old ass receivers that they can save him. And already he lost Gabe Davis, torn ACL, just announced that. So they're not going to have to ask a practice squad player to step up and be a star.
We'll see how it goes.
You guys excited for Josh? I feel like that's the country's pulling for. And it'd be really great if the Bills can upset the Broncos, who barely lost at home. The only team that beat them at home this year is the Jaguars, who they just beat. But how you guys? You excited for that one too, like me?
I am. I think again, this is definitely the Bills' probably best and last chance for a little while. So I'd love to see them capitalize. I will say, watching that broadcast, ESPN was not for the Bills. They
You mean
were
CBS?
no. No, I don't think I watched it on CBS. I must have though. It was on CBS. Um, yeah, whoever was
Yeah,
carrying it then.
Romo and Lance.
Yeah, and
Nance.
then yeah, and then even afterward, like in the press pool, like for some reason, the sports media was really high on the Jaguars. That's who they wanted. They were like they were
I
very
did,
clearly
but I
favored.
wasn't mad. I actually thought they would get upset, but I didn't. They came
The
in at
Bills,
an
yeah.
8-game winning streak, but I wanted them to win. Josh
Yeah,
Allen
but
won
it
me my
was
fantasy league, so there's always love for them.
no, of course, but yeah, it was definitely like listening to them. They were like, "This is a real heartbreaker," like and things like that. Like they would
Did you
not
see
have
the
said
owner?
this.
Did you see the Jacksonville Jaguars reporter, which is, by the way, who was trying to console the
Which was
Jaguars head coach
weird
Liam Cohn?
because
It
it's
was
not your job.
weird. It's weird, but I mean, let it go.
I mean, I
Who
don't care,
cares?
but it is strange.
People are angry. Like what compared to what our press secretary does? Like
Well, yeah,
it's really
exactly. Yeah,
time.
please, exactly. That's what I mean. This is not a serious thing. People shouldn't be mad, but it was strange. Anyone who points out that's a weird thing for a reporter to do, I agree with you. I don't care. It's football. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
that Jacksonville team's on the rise. Travis
Mhm.
Hunter got hurt in the middle of the year, so
Yeah.
watch out for them. But I think we'll be a pro Bills podcast for this one.
All right.
Bills Rams, that'd be a battle.
Bills Bears.
No.
I want to be pissed at that.
I said that. That's what I predicted. Remember? Well, actually, I said I
The
want Bills
Packers,
Bears, and I thought it was
Caleb
gonna be
Williams.
Eagles.
Packers messed up, man.
Get 18-point lead
Dude, Caleb
in the
Williams
fourth.
he's underrated. That's another person we could have talked about in that last segment. We'll bring that up
was a
next
good
time.
one. Great work, Ryan and Allison. We'll see you throughout the week. Peace.
See ya.